Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whichever part of the world you're from. This is Kavita Ramchand from Life Success in Mauritius. So I'm reading to you the book You Were Born Rich in my language, in the Creole language in Mauritius, as well as in English. And I hope it's been beneficial to you. We are on the ninth chapter, very important chapter. All the chapters are important, but for me, this one is the most important because a lot of people are thinking in reverse, and that is leading humanity to a state of decline rather than progress. So, we want to understand the right way to think, thinking progressively, because life is about moving forward. And why do I say that? Is because I got stuck at one point of time when I was thinking so negatively, and I just kept spiraling behind, like going backwards. And I was like literally grasping to go forward, but something was just keeping on pulling me backwards, and I couldn't understand what that was. And then came a point of time when I just, like as if took an axe and cut it off, that thing that was pulling me back. But that's just metaphorical. I did this through an education of how the mind works and what stops us from doing the things we want to do in our life. So the day I came out from that state, all I wanted to do was share this information with the world, because most of us have not been taught how to think in this way. School did not teach this to us. Our religious bodies were supposed to bring this to our awareness, but sadly, that they themselves, like religion, has caused more division in the world rather than unity. So there's a whole generation like me in I was born in the 70s, early 80s, who grew up with a lot of beliefs that have been programmed into us that are not necessarily true, but they're running our life. So let's continue. Okay, now Bob says, the past, conversely, is the place where all life ends. But unfortunately, it is also the place where 95% of the people spend 95% of their time, which is sadly also their life. For example, it is an accepted ritual in our culture for old friends to spend hours upon hours reminiscing or harping back on the good old days of yesteryear. Hours up hours upon wasted hours of present of precious, like its precious present living time is squandered discussing people who are dead and gone, or reflecting upon things which used to be but are no more. In fact, there are actually numerous individuals who spend their days collecting things from the past, or antiques as they are sometimes called. These people collect everything from old matchboxes to antique furniture. Give me a minute. Then there is another large category of people who consume the majority of their waking hours reliving in their minds past negative events which have occurred in their lives. Sorry, I have a bad cough today. They either spend valuable hours thinking of some past injustice which someone had done to them, or possibly about some unkind remark which someone had once directed in their direction. They bemoan and agonize over past failures or missed opportunities which they somehow let slip through their fingers. Unfortunately for them, these individuals maintain such a negative vibration that there is not even the most remote possibility of a positive thought entering their level of consciousness. Let me just check where I have reached. Okay, we still have time. Now, I want you to think about this. This is not something to be taken lightly. I have seen in my own culture, in my own life, and I don't blame anybody for it because I used to be the same until I knew better, until I met a mentor who could make me see differently, who could make me take back control of my present reality so that I could create a new reality and project it onto the screen of my life. And the day I realized that we can all do that, if I can do it, everybody can do it. So why not? Why not live the good life? It's so simple. It's just the way we think. That's all. We just have to change that. And our outside world changes like magic. I find this magical. That's why I want everybody to get it. Especially why? Because our children are watching us. My children were watching me, and I was behaving in a way that was not making sense even to me. So, what more to them? So, we as parents, we are the first role models of our children. And if we are not living happy, upbeat lifestyles, then that's what we can pass down to them. They are not going to see us happy, they are not going to be happy. They are learning from us. We've been put on planet Earth to take care of our children because God could not be anywhere, everywhere, right? So He created mothers. So that's something that we really need to think about. Indeed, the only thing this type of thinking will ever create is resentment and or guilt. Yes. If we're living in the past, regrets, or worries about the future, that's all we can internalize. Resentment and or guilt or both deadly emotional states. But until these poor souls come to terms with the fact that it is they themselves who have been the authors of their own misfortune, and until they realize it is up to them to alter the course of their own lives, they are doomed to repeat give me a minute, their past failures over and over again. As long as they persist in believing that others are the cause of their problem, they cannot be successful. Because, of course, you can never successfully change anyone but yourself. Therefore, to the extent that these people hold on to their false beliefs, they will continue to think in reverse. And it goes without saying, you cannot move ahead while your mind is traveling in the opposite direction. I'm going to stop here for today. And I want to tell you that these two, three paragraphs are crucial to understand. Why? Because they are dictating your life every day. You cannot outperform your belief system. And what is a belief system? It is like a lens that you have over your eyes that are blinding you from everything else. The moment you believe something, it will manifest into your reality. You know, why I am so adamant on this teaching is because I was once a very happy girl, like a princess, raised like a princess. And so that means my belief system at that time was that of life is like a fairy tale and I'm a princess. Okay. And then came a traumatic experience in my life. My younger brother suddenly passed away. I was not very close to him, but I was affected by that because in fairy tales, these don't happen, right? Only good things happen. So when that happened, I questioned. A lot of people used to think that why am I sad, feeling sorry that my brother passed away? And I used to tell them, it's not that I'm sad. It's a question has come to me. It's like I attracted a question that was, how did I attract my brother's death in my life because I knew I was attracting everything in my life, good and bad both. How it used to happen, I did not know. But whatever I would think about, and if it would be something I really want or something I really didn't want, both I would get. And if you were to ask me at that time, how is this happening with you? I wouldn't know. When I would get what I wanted, I used to say, God is my best friend. He can hear what I'm saying. But it was childlike belief. And now that I understand how this works, how our mind works, do you think I will even entertain a belief that doesn't that is not going to get me good results? No way. That's the first thing I'm going to we cannot we cannot outperform the belief system. We can replace it. We can choose to change. Change is not easy. It's messy in the beginning, but then your mind becomes so orderly because then you understand that everything is created from thoughts to things and not vice versa. So when I was looking at the experience that was my result, I was letting that dictate how I should think and feel. I started going in the reverse direction. I was thinking in reverse. And I spiraled so badly that I reached a point where I couldn't breathe as if. It's only connecting the dots looking backwards. I can tell you that I was going in some kind of depression, and that was not me. I was the happy fairy tale princess. So thanks to this education, I used this education was like a weapon that I could just cut off my spiraling negatively life and come back into the positive, the happy, the beautiful lifestyle that I always believed should be my lifestyle. And I know it can be your lifestyle because we all have different desires, we all have different things we want in life, but our mind works exactly the same way. So it's an education that's very, very important. And if you start to apply it, you will see great changes in your life. Thank you very much for being here, and I will see you on Thursday. Don't know how long I've been talking. Oh, always exceeding my time. Bye bye.